Welcome to this episode of the Are You Listening podcast. Got a very, very special guest on ahead of the matchup with Purdue. So, Geo, before we jump into it, I'll let you do the honors.
It's real fitting that we got the Purdue killer, my former teammate, my brother, all Big Ten basketball player, 1,500-point scorer. My guy Ron Harper Jr. is in the building with us today.
Yes, sir.
What's up, Ron?
Appreciate you boys having me on, man. Excited to talk hoops with y'all, for real.
I feel like it's perfect timing to get you on the podcast, obviously, because we got Purdue coming up, and then we got to talk about the legendary shot against number one at the buzzer. And a funny story too, before we even get into it, is that I wasn't even at the game. So many fans come up to me asking like what it felt like to see the court storm and to see the shot, and I was like, man, I was literally watching that shit from my couch.
I'll tell you what, I was in the booth, bruh, and I lost my goddamn mind when that shot went in.
That call was hilarious, bro.
I mean, honestly speaking, that was one of the wildest things I've seen in person. But before we get to Purdue, how are you, man? How have you been? What have you been up to over the last couple of months? And it's a lot of exciting topics and things to really kind of hone in on, throughout the course of this show.
I've been good, bro. Just rehabbing, had surgery. I think it's been about 6 weeks now, 6 weeks on Wednesday. So, I'm doing good. Rehabbing in New York City, getting my mind straight. They always say like the road to recovery is a lonely one, but like I'm just surrounded by all the people I love, man. My family, my Rutgers family. So, it's been a good couple months, I'm embracing it, just being able to watch Dylan play his last high school season, being able to be there for my little sister. Just trying to find the beauty in all of it. And I get to do fun things like this with you guys and go to the Purdue game on Sunday. So I'm excited to be here, excited to talk to you guys.
That's awesome, man. I get really excited seeing you guys come back to the game, Geo and Ron sitting and supporting the team and the product that it is nowadays. So how has the transition been from the college level to the pros? If you had to sum it up in one word, what would that word be going up to the NBA level?
It's like pace, like on the court, off the court, everything happens so fast. Like the blink of the eye, the season's over. Like it's crazy. The amount of flights you're taking, the wear and tear on your body, just your life speeds up so much faster when you're in the pros. And it's really like remarkable to see. Like me and Jill, we was playing 30 some games a year from like November to March. Like the NBA, the regular season is 82 games. And then plus like, if you win the finals, that's 20 more. So just a lot of wear and tear in your body, just taking care of your body, mind, stuff like that is really important throughout the duration of the season. Just keeping your mind right. That's the only way you can perform if you're thinking in the right mental space. That's hard for a bunch of young men who are on their own, like for the first time for real, like just adjusting to that lifestyle. So just got to keep your head on straight and attach yourself to people you love.
Do you feel like you stepped like everything up? Because I know in college, I mean, obviously we had treatment and training, and we did take care of our body. But do you feel like now it's more of like, you look at it more as like as an investment now, where it's like I have to do this every single day because this is my job?
It's routine, bro. Like you literally, like it's so much different, bro. Like with no school, nothing else to worry about. You're literally just there to hoop, and like it's like really like the first time you're in like a space like that, bro. For me especially, and that was the first time I had moved out of New Jersey too. So I'm in like a whole complete new environment, bro. Just trying to find my way. So yeah, like this, it takes off fast on you.
Fast. I feel like a lot of people don't think about that part too, where it's like you're just away from home and you're traveling all the time. Like that's definitely really hard mentally too.
Yeah, like people say like, Toronto's kind of close to Jersey. I'm sure you get to see your family. Like I'm really like last year, bro, I seen y'all when I could see y'all, and that was like 5 times the whole year.
Yeah, right.
Before I came home, and it's like, yeah, it's a lot, man. But that's the life you choose, man. It's the best league in the world, bro. It's just that's a great league to be in. It's such a privilege to be able to play in the league. So just, I'm excited to get back. I'm excited for this road to recovery and get my mind straight, man. So it's going to be good. Yes, sir.
You grew up fortunate as the son of obviously your father, Ron Harper, but also a mom who hooped. What would you say was the molding process? How did mom and pops influence aspects of your game?
Man, my dad would tell you, like, me and him really never worked out a lot, bro. Like, maybe we worked out probably like 50 times, bro. Probably like 50 times, right around that ballpark. Like we would go to the gym rarely and it just be like on some father-son thing, bro. Like we're not going in there trying to be like dead serious. Like he literally entrusted it all to my mom. Like, and anybody will be able to tell you, like, he entrusted it all to my mother, and like he trusted her, like from the start. Like, he invested in an AAU team for me and Dylan to play basketball in, and he was just there, like, kind of behind the scenes. And my mom was running the show, and he trusted her with it all. So he put that trust in her, and it paid off. And that's how they kind of molded with it. And they were both on the bench at the AAU games. They were both in the crowd at the high school, school games, but they loved it, and that's kind of how they found their peace in it. I feel like my dad had been around the game for so long that like maybe he just wanted to take a back seat at this point. And he knew my mom, knew the game obviously, and he gave her the keys, and she did a damn good job if you asking me.
Love that, man. We had Caleb on a radio show, and I asked him what was his "oh shit, welcome to the NBA" moment, and he talked about having a guard Shea. Did you have one of those moments up in Toronto where there was a play?
Shit, this dude Pascal, bro. I'm not gonna lie. That's my dude, P Skills. But just sometimes they be calling him like piece, like he does the spin move a lot. And like you can be guarding it and expecting it, and like still, bro, you can't stop that. It's just it's the most annoying thing ever too, because it's like coming and he's like, oh, he's getting ready to spin, and you just like, all right, yeah, I'm gonna steal it, I'm gonna block it, and it's just layup drills, bro. Just Caleb having a guard Shea, I could imagine. Yeah, but like,
yeah, that doesn't sound fun at all. That man's
he's technical,
bro,
when it comes to his scoring ability. What have you learned about what you have to improve upon to continue to take your game to the next level and try to promote that longevity at the league level?
Yeah, I feel like, just for me, be a consistent defender, consistent shooter, bro. Like that's what I gotta like thrive to be. A guy that can guard multiple positions, a guy that can hit shots. Those guys are always gonna play, bro. And once those guys start playing and you play well, that's how you start evolving and doing the other things. But just taking it step by step. I'm not trying to do too much right now. I'm trying to just get back in the gym first and foremost. But once I'm back and I'm playing, those two things is what I want to be most consistent in, and that's what I'm really trying to work towards while also working at the other things.
Makes a lot of sense, bro. I love that mentality. I feel like there's a lot of guys who look at it the wrong way, where it's like, I want to be a scorer, and those are the guys that usually don't end up staying in the league too long because they're not realizing their role. But I feel like, even back when we were at Rutgers, bro, I felt like our team always had a good mindset about that too, and that's why we ended up winning games.
I've been on a lot of teams, bro, and a lot of them just embrace the rules. Like I played freshman basketball, bro, and like I came off the bench sophomore year of high school, and then I started my junior and senior year. Didn't start till halfway through the year at Rutgers. Like my whole career has been predicated on knowing what I could do, knowing what I can do well, and then excelling after that. So, why not go back to that, try to tap back into that and see where it takes me. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. I think this is a good segue into something I actually wanted to ask you about too, because obviously right now Rutgers has some talented freshmen, one of them being Gavin Griffiths, who like me and you have both seen multiple times. I played pickup with him in the summer.
He's a dog,
practice.
Bro.
He's talented, right? Super talented, but obviously looking back to, your first year, my sophomore year, and like, sometimes it was ugly, when we were younger, and it wasn't always pretty. But like, what do you think it was that helped you jump to that next level from freshman to sophomore year?
Just working the kinks out, bro. Like freshman year, we really worked all the kinks out. Like we figured out how we could all hoop together, how we could all mesh as one. And bro, like I would go out there as a freshman, like I got nothing to lose. Like that's my mentality. I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna just try to hoop. I'm gonna play my game. Like I see Gavin struggle and I see everybody talk about Gavin struggles, and I'm like, man, I understand I didn't have them expectations when I was a freshman, but I started my career 3 for 31 from three, dog. I was like 9%. Yeah. Like dudes were letting me shoot. I was shooting it off the backboard, like
straight
air balls, bro. And then one day,
it's like we all knew you were a shooter because we all saw it in practice.
And they were all like, keep shooting. And I'm like, hey, like, all right, I'm gonna keep shooting. Y'all trust me to shoot. I'm gonna shoot it, bro. And I started hitting, bro. And like after like the halfway point of that year, I was shooting like 40% from three, and I finished at like 29%. Like my percentage was ass. But bro, like I see Gavin struggle, and I'm like, dude, like some of these people don't know the half of it, bro. Like one game can change your season around. You just got to see a couple go in. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
and you're gonna
100%.
start, and the feel for the game just develops. That's how you get it as a freshman. Same thing for Tez, bro. Tez had a couple good games and he was ripping off 20 after 20. Like,
Yeah.
you just got to see some go in, bro. Promise. It takes one game.
I love that you talked about one of the things that really resonated with you when you first started interacting with Coach Steve Pikiell was his messaging around flipping the script and going from not being the greatest program to what Rutgers basketball is present day. What was it about, his coaching and that coaching staff that helped all the players develop, not only offensively and defensively?
Man, it's ironic because I was just with Coach Pike literally right before I did this. We did like some we talked on like a board for like the Prudential people because they're partnering with Rutgers apparently, and me and Pike just went up there and answered some questions. And yeah, but it's ironic because we talked about like teamwork and leadership, and that was like the whole thing of it. But just like those two things right there, and like Coach Pike was like, he's like the ultimate underdog. Like once you really sit down and get to know his story, like he has like 9 brothers and sisters, bro. Like he's from a small town in Connecticut. Played for one of the greatest, probably one of the greatest coaches of all time in college, and now he's like excelling as a coach. And every program he's been to, he's been able to flip the script, like you said, flip the script. And now he's being able to do it at a Power 5 school, and it's built off his culture. Really, like he has like when he talks about culture and how he wants to build his team, like he's very serious about that.
Yeah.
Like he wants good people in the gym. Like he wants good families, good young men, and like he predicates himself on finding those good young men, and he finds them, bro, and like they'll be ranked like Geo was ranked like 400 300 something, bro, and he found them. Good person, good family, like come on. Like Coach Pikiell finds them, and he really predicates himself on that, and because he knows those are young men he can like that can replicate his vision on the court. Like he knows he can trust them young men in the future.
I think that, I definitely agree. I think the other thing too was like everyone that he recruited when we first started, we were all underdogs too.
Yeah.
In our own way, and we looked at it like how I remember is just he really believed everything he was saying. Like when he was talking, like it didn't sound like a sell. It was like, no, this is what we're gonna do. And it's like, oh shit, like that's what I want to do too. And then like it went from like he would tell me that, he would tell Miles that, and then when Ron, Tez, and everybody, Caleb would visit, we would tell them that when they were visiting, look, this is what we're going to do. And it kind of just kept trickling down. And then even Dylan right now, who's ranked number 2 in the country, number 3 in the country, he wasn't always that top guy. I mean, me and Ron remember when he was a kid, no one was talking about Dylan like that.
Them dudes used to be like, they used to tell me it was ass, bro. Same thing with me growing up. Same thing with me, bro. And he flipped the script crazy.
Yeah. So like it all looks glamorous now because now he's getting all this media attention and whatever. But I mean, he has an underdog story of his own too, and he kind of saw what we did, and I think that's what makes him.
He was always. I remember I knew Dylan would be a dog, bro. They was playing Bergen Catholic. It was his. Gio, you went with me to the game. I think maybe you came to the game, right, bro? Dylan was unbelievable. They played them in the state sectional championship, and they lost, bro. Dylan's a sophomore. Their 2 best players are seniors. Dylan had like 35 and 10, and like they kept chanting like "brother's shadow" at him, and like I just knew, bro. I knew he was a dog that day. Like this dude is different. Like he's really one of them.
Yeah, he's came a long way.
I love that talk track about you going from that underrated grinder mentality that Pikes had to find people. He's not having to find people no more, considering where Rutgers basketball is. But you walk into his office, he has that one shelf for the national chip, the other for the Final Four, the other for the NCAA tournament.
Like he believes it. Like he believes he's gonna do that at Rutgers. Like he's the guy to do it at Rutgers.
You think next year, this team with the talent coming in, what will it take to be able to make a deep run in the tournament environment? Obviously, this is a program that's been to the NCAA numerous times, but you've played at this level. With this amount of talent and that type of coaching coming together, it seems like a match made in heaven. But that's not always the case. What needs to get done to actually live up to the hype?
I think leadership, man. Like this class, it's all about vet leadership, bro. Remember that Zion team? That was my freshman year, Joe. It was like Zion, Cam Reddish, RJ Barrett. They lost to Michigan State. Like they were obviously more talented, but Michigan State had more experience, had more grit and grind. And for crying out loud, it was like the dude Kenny Goins who had the game winner.
Yeah.
And like he started as a walk-on, bro. And but just leadership, bro. They need like dudes that are gonna like walk in and be dogs and like just to poke their chest out at people and just like be like a dog, a leader, and like lead those young dudes into blossom into becoming that. I feel like they got that in the locker room though. Like the dude, Jeremiah Williams, he's a dog. Like,
Yeah.
he's a dog. Like, he's nice.
Hopefully they can get him back for this year, man.
Yeah, he'd be a big
That would be a
boost.
big
But
addition.
just, I told him, bro. I'm like, yeah, bro. Like, need you on that team next year, bro. Y'all gonna be nice. Like, y'all gonna be dumb nice.
Nah, I definitely agree. I think that's what made us become a better team. Like we said, we went through it freshman, sophomore year where we were talented. I mean, you were talented as a sophomore, as a freshman, as a sophomore, but there was things that we had to kind of figure out that you just get through experience. Like there's just some things that you aren't going to learn until you go through it a couple of times. And I even think about like a guy like Derek right now, who is a sophomore, and like people are kind of looking at him as he's supposed to be the veteran guy. It's like, man, I remember my sophomore year, it was really hard trying to be the man. Like, so that's something that he has to kind of learn and go through. And then hopefully he'll be back next year too, where he can kind of help those guys.
I remember that too. It is tough, bro, because you were kind of put in like a similar position too. Like you were a captain your sophomore year.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you had to step up to the plate. But, bro, they just, they lost a lot of veteran leadership. So they're just looking for somebody to carry the pack when it comes to that. But, just the guys that have been there for a while, Cliff Mawat, Dre, like, there's a lot of experience in that locker room. A lot of those dudes played on real good teams. So, I think they're going to pick it up. It's inevitable.
What have you thought about the team so far this year? Like, what have you been seeing? I know you've been to a couple of the games. Me and you've sat together for a couple of them. What have you been seeing overall on the court?
They play well, bro, but they always have like one stint, like 5-minute stint, like where they don't score, and the other team's just like turning it up. And it was the same thing when we were there, bro. Same thing. Yeah. That was the same thing that would happen to us, and everybody swear they got the answer, but. Bro,
I think the only difference with us though is that when we didn't score, they didn't score either. We were like, all right, this is gonna be ugly.
We all just not gonna score. We're all not gonna score. Exactly. Yeah, forget it.
Like, yeah, we definitely had those stints where it was ugly, but
we beat Iowa like 45 to like 40. It was like 47-45, bro.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree though. I think they've had a couple of stints where offense is just stagnant, but then they're letting it affect them on the defensive end.
Yeah. And that's
again, I think it's an experience thing. Like that.
Yeah.
And
they haven't been together for a while. Like that group is just that group hasn't been
new transfers
together.
coming in, first year guys, young guys.
Exactly.
J Mike and Gavin playing extended minutes.
Jeremiah,
those
Austin.
are going to be huge next year for those guys as sophomores. They're going to be the most seasoned sophomores in the entire Big Ten Conference because of how many minutes they're playing.
For sure.
Exactly. And like really, that's really what me and Tez and Kayla went through my freshman year. Like towards the end of the year, like it would be like us three, Geo and Gene out there, and that's the five we would run. We would run that five. We would run that five like when we needed to win, and like that would be the five. And we just by the end of the year we had built it up to that because we had played so much, bro. Like the game started slowing down, and it's not saying that like we were nice. Like we were definitely like working through a lot freshman year, but that set us up for sophomore year to go out there and be confident and to know what we were doing and to play like we're upperclassmen.
Yeah. With that being said, though, I do think there's still some hope for this year. I'm not looking down on this year at all.
Yeah, for sure. The year is not even close.
Those guys shouldn't be looking ahead at all right now. And I think that's another. Sometimes it's hard when you're a young player where it's like, all right, we'll just got next year. And that's something that they really need to try to break out of. And they do got that veteran leadership. Like Dre's been there for a while, Watt's been there for a while, Oscar's been there for a while. Cliff is a veteran now. They have everything they need, but some of those guys need to step up and really to start to kind of take hold of the situation and let people know like this is what it is. Because I remember a couple of times too, like we had team player only meetings where it was like we sat down and sometimes they were ugly meetings. Like
like we're yelling at each other.
We were yelling at each other, arguing. Dudes are crying. Like it got ugly at times.
Happens, bro.
But like that's some. At least it showed that we cared. We were trying to get something done. That's something that they kind of got to take hold of that situation and do something similar. Where it's like, look, if we keep losing, like we are not going to make the tournament. At some point, it's got to become a reality in your head. Like shit, we got to figure out a way to win games.
Yeah, but they got the right staff, bro. Like Pike, United, all of them, TJ, all those guys.
They be locked in.
Exactly.
I mean, the games in themselves, especially the last couple, have been very positive and encouraging. Starting off with Nebraska RU defeats the Cornhuskers 87-82 last Wednesday. And it was one of those back and forth games, probably the best offensive performance for the Scarlet Knights, being able to pull out one tough at home.
Man,
Big
when they were
time
losing.
outputs. Yep.
Show
Mawat
some
Mack,
heart. They show some
16
heart.
points. Andre Hyatt, another double-double. Derek Simpson was out there diamond, and Cliff was really, really good too, man. And obviously it's different. Life at home and life on the road, especially in this conference, are night and day. But that's the
Man.
type of game that you can see good Rutgers versus bad.
Yeah, I was watching that game and it showed like the Nebraska graphic, and it was like they're undefeated at home and having won one away in the conference, and I was like, I know a team that was like that once before.
Been there.
I was laughing, bro. I was like, I know a team, but that was just a good win for Rutgers. That's a win they needed to see, because Nebraska had just beat Purdue, and that's why I think, like, bro, they can really go in there with some confidence, bro. Like, Nebraska knocked them off. You guys beat Nebraska at home. Like, let's see what can happen at home, man. Like, I told them all week leading up to playing number one my senior year, I'm like, bro, we just got to keep it close to the last 8 minutes. Keep it within 10 to the last 8 minutes, and we're good. Like, just got to keep it close. That pressure going to hit at some point.
What you think about Mawat's return and battling back from that type of knee injury and being able to get back? I think this is real quickly, considering that typically it takes a lot more patience to be able to put a lot of wear and tear on that type of ligament.
Oh, man. I mean, Mawat came back and his game like evolved. Like, he's hunting the shots now. He's getting to his spots. And, like, he's doing things that I seen him do in practice, but, like, I never seen him do in the game before. And, like, I feel like the game's slowing down for him. I always used to tell him, like, wow, like, if you just play with pace, like, sometimes, because me and him will guard each other every day. And I think that was real good for him. But, like, in practice, I'd be like, bro, like, if you just play with some pace, like, you going at one speed. When you play with pace, like, you're a bad dude. Like, you hit tough shots. And, like, he's been doing that the last couple of games, bro. Like, just seeing his game evolve, just like you said, he came back pretty quickly off a torn ACL, which isn't hard to do. Like, he stayed the course, and he's playing real good basketball right now, man. He's probably one of the best defenders in the Big Ten. And, he keeps hooping like this. They're a hard team to stop, man.
For sure. Big Cliff, I think, is catching momentum at the right time. I think it was a little bit of a slow start because a lot of productivity and creators either transferred out, and some guys are kind of stepping into that role, but he's finding ways to still be active and score. And he had 14 points and 15 rebounds against Nebraska. Anything sticking out to either you, Geo, or Ron, about how he's developing this late in the season?
I mean, I think it's the guards being aggressive too, though. I mean, Austin, I'm gonna sound like a broken record for anyone who's listening, because we always talk about it, but I mean, some of Cliff's best games where Derek was really aggressive. Even if Derek wasn't scoring, right? Him just being aggressive puts pressure on the defense, frees up Clifford. What he does best, which is dunk the basketball. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what he does best, and he's a really good finisher around the rim when you put him in good position. And obviously his defense is grown every single year. I mean, he's a great defender now. Yeah,
his defense got better this year. I'm not gonna lie. I thought he reached the ceiling for his defense last year. His defense got better this year. Like, he's a medicine. Drop coverage, red, anything.
Yeah, Rutgers is number one in rim protection, shot blocks in the entire Big Ten Conference for a reason, and a large part of that is Clifford Moore.
Yeah, like, they told me he's top 3 in blocks in the country, right?
Yeah. His timing is impeccable. He's able to get off the floor multiple occasions quicker than guys can jump once.
I wish I would have knew Cliff when I knew Cliff when I was in high school. But Cliff was this skinny African kid, bro. He had no muscle on him. And I remember I seen him like 6 months later, and I'm like, Cliff, what happened? He's dumb buff. His voice got deep as hell. That boy Cliff, man. I'm proud of him, though. I'm proud to see where he come from.
I feel like he didn't used to always have good timing. So
no, he couldn't.
I don't even know how he work on that. That must be
it's
through
just
again
trial
through
and
experience.
error, bro. Trial and error.
That man did not have good timing. I remember when we used to look, it would either be Cliff or Miles on defense. We were like, oh, come on, Miles. We didn't want Cliff in that drop coverage. But now, I mean, it's great to see how far he's come with it.
And he was with Miles too, so he got to watch Miles. Miles should have won Defensive Player of the Year that year over Daryl. Daryl whack. Daryl's my dog. He got 905. He just texted me too. But yeah, Miles Johnson got robbed, man.
Miles doing big things. One thing that really stuck out to me in that game also before we move on to Illinois, Pikes got another tech, or he got a tech
Yeah,
in
I
that
peeped.
second half.
We saw that.
How many times, can y'all count on one hand how many times he's gotten a tech when you played under him? How fired up does he have to be?
He
Never got one. Never got one
How
under
about
us.
Never got one. Van Dyke got more than him.
Yeah, man.
And VD. And me. Gio, you got one, Gio?
I got one. I got
Gio.
one. Indiana.
Yeah, Pike never got teched up.
So he really got to go. He got to be mad for that.
Yeah,
to actually
facts.
Yeah,
Facts.
yeah. He don't. Do
Last
that.
year was like the first time in his like coaching career he got a tech, I think.
I think Pike really be just so stressed about defense and points being scored.
He's
like,
not worried about the refs.
He don't want to take the tech for a free throw. Like he don't want none of that. Like
He'd rather bank on a stop.
yeah.
Pike,
I love it. And then after that win, Rutgers goes out to Champaign, a place obviously that's been difficult to get a dub on the road. That arena is nuts. Those fans are absolutely crazy. They say some of the wildest things I've seen.
Yeah, they're
around
hilarious.
the Big Ten Conference.
They're hilarious.
They
get
were
creative.
Crazy to Paul. They get crazy to Paul. Oh my god.
And Cliff. Yeah. They had like a poster with Kofi and it was holding a baby and Cliff was the kid. Oh my god. And it was right by where we were warming up too. I'm like, yo, those fans, whew, that's a tough place to play, bro.
They got to be up there with some of the toughest fans in the entire conference.
Yeah.
They lost that game. Ultimately, Terrence Shannon Jr. coming back from time off, and Justin Harmon scoring 18 points was cream on top of the whole situation. So looking ahead, man, yeah, definitely tough dynamic. You got Purdue coming up, top team in the Big Ten, and this is a scene that's been set before, very familiar. A team that obviously is super hyped, but it's a place in Jersey Mike's Arena where they've had difficulty over the years, competing against Rutgers at home.
Mm-hmm.
So just before we get into some of the other stuff, any initial thoughts of, what you think will be the outcome of this game?
I got Rutgers, obviously. Come on, man. I got Rutgers every time.
It's that Jersey Mike's magic.
Every time. I can't
magic.
do without it. I got Rutgers.
I do think though that we always had a very good scouting report for Purdue. Like I think the reason why we won a good amount of times against them. And the way they play defense, you got Zach Edey always in that deep drop.
Mm-hmm.
We always had a really good game plan for it, how to attack him and how to put him in those pick and roll situations where he's either get into a pull up or
loves the midi, bro. But this Rutgers team loves the midi. That's the key to the whole game, the midi. Yeah. And like once you hit a couple middies or hit Cliff on the lob, bro, it's gonna open up the opposite, bro.
Everything opens up.
So one of those outcomes that was successful was that 70-68 win a couple years ago when you hit that buzzer beater at half court, man. So take me through that timeout huddle and then getting that ball inbounded with momentum leading up the court. What was going through your mind?
Man, the whole huddle, bro, Pike just talking about defense. I'm like, bro, I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, I got to say something to these dudes. We had some young guys out there. We had Jalen Miller out there, Mawad, Caleb, Cliff. That was our 5 and me. So we got some young guys out there. So I'm like, bro, I pull them to the side after the huddle. I'm like, bro, like, stop. Let's get a stop. But God forbid they score, bro. Do not panic and just inbound it to anybody, bro. I'm coming to get the ball, bro, and just start running down the court. And they were like, all right, bet. And he scored. Mawad looked around the court, found me running, got the ball, bro. I just let it fly. I thought it was all net, too. It looked so good coming out of my hands. I'm like, all net. Hit the rimmed in. I was like, oof, man. That was a crazy feeling, bro. It was crazy. Everything just happened so fast. Everybody started running on the court. And next thing you know, it just smelled like a damn bar in there.
Yo, Austin, after the game. So I'm home with the flu.
This dude got like a 103 fever.
Oh, you didn't even get to partake in the festivity?
No. So
dude.
Listen, and me and Luke Nathan, we live off campus. So like our spot was like the pregame spot, like where we would always go. So the whole team's coming through to our spot. I'm in the crib with the flu, like dudes are trying to convince me to go out. Either way, they're like, yo, like fuck it, let's just go outside. I'm like, yo, I can't. Like, I have the flu.
It's over for the brother.
But like, to this day, I'm sick. Like, damn, I really wish I could have been in the building for the whole celebration.
I'm sorry to hear that, because that would have probably been the wildest night out in all of New Brunswick.
That was the most stressful day.
I would have turned it up too. Like,
bro. And we were
good. Like,
we had been
every
losing,
time we would
bro.
win. Every time we would win, like, Spot would hit us up. Oh, you guys are good for the night. We'll get you on. Like, sometimes, like, literally, like, one time, like, Huey's nightclub would literally, like, block off the whole, like, thing for us so we could just all chill right there. Like, it was...
Bro, man, we was losing too around that time. Like, we were like 4-4, bro, and Geo hadn't played like the last 3 games, bro, and we were like 1-2. And bro, I was like, finally, Geo about to play, because like he hurt his hamstring. I'm like, finally, he's about to come back, bro. I get the shoot around, bro. This dude is not there. TJ come up to me, he's like, hey Slim, he like, your man's not coming to shoot around today. I said, who? He said, Geo. I said, what happened? He said, he got the flu, Slim. He said 104 fever. I said, bro, what?
I felt fucking crazy.
I was sick, bro. I was sick. I was dumb stressed after that.
The day before I went into Pike's office, I was like, Pike, I'm ready to play. Like,
oh yeah, and he wanted to start, and Gio was like, I'm starting. I'm like, he's on that. I'm like, he's on that.
I want to start. Like, we not losing this game. I want to start. And
yeah.
Said, okay. Yeah. And then I can't play, bro.
He was on that. He was like, I want to start. I remember that.
That is absolutely hilarious, man. What was the more convincing, or which one did you feel better about game winner wise? That Purdue half court, or that Indiana when you hit the shivers afterwards?
Indiana for sure. Because their fans were talking so crazy to me, bro. And then when I hit the shot, it was like the biggest like F you, bro. And they just couldn't say nothing. They had to like respect it, bro. And like,
you could see it on all their faces.
Yeah, like disgust, like sick disgust,
they were like,
bro.
Yeah, they were like, they were so mad. They were so mad and hurting. Like he said, like,
bro,
disgusted.
It was senior night, and they were doing their speeches after, so their whole team stayed out. And I'm doing the presser. I'm doing the presser at like mid court, bro. And all their fans are yelling crazy shit at me. And I'm like I don't ever stumble in my presser, bro. Like, in the post game, bro, I don't ever stumble. I don't ever I'm never short on words, nothing. Like that day I was like, I wish I had the clip, bro, but like they were yelling crazy stuff to me. And after the press was over, I kept waving at them. Everybody giving me the finger. Like, man,
I was surprised that
good,
they didn't run another body at you. They cleared the whole side and let you get into your rhythm dribble.
I'm saying, this dude Gio was beasting for the ball back too, and he was the dude. Yes, yes, because he was picking you up full court. Remember?
No, so yeah, you passed it into me.
This nigga Gio said it.
Yeah, you passed it into me. I was. I was like, I said it. And you were like this. I was like, oh yeah, facts. I just threw it back.
Yeah, he was dead. He was dead to rights. As soon as I hesied him, he was dead to rights, bro. When I hit that shot, ooh, bro, that's like the first time where like fans have like been talking that crazy to me, bro. And I really like did something on the court like where they just couldn't say nothing. Like that shot felt so good, bro. And we needed that win for NCAA, and we were losing the whole game. We were in the locker room talking crazy. We were in the locker room turn.
Absolutely love it, man. That is big time stuff. Have you both been keeping up with the football aspect? All the RU guys that are in the playoffs. I know that
bro.
We're at Rutgers with a bunch of guys that are doing their thing in the NFL now. Jonah Jackson with the Lions, Bo Melton, Green Bay Packers, Pacheco with the Chiefs, and then Christian Izien with the Bucks. You keep up with any of those guys, and what do you think about what they've been able to do at the next level?
Man, I mean, I watched the Eagles-Bucks game, bro. I'm an Eagles fan, and I just kept seeing Christian Izien flying around the field, bro. And I'm like, I didn't seen this story before, and they spanked the Eagles. But I've been keeping up, like watching the games, bro. Happy for those guys. They're doing great things. Pacheco doing his thing. I was happy to see Bo score last game and playing the role he's been getting to playing, bro. Because like just knowing his story and what it's taken for him to get there, and then just him excelling, I feel like he put himself in a real good position for next year. Just all records, like Rutgers alumni, we're all just rooting for each other. So like, I'm happy for those guys, happy to see them thriving. And I see something where it's like, no matter what happens, a Rutgers alumni is gonna get a Super Bowl, and that's dope. Like that's what's
Yep.
up. Like that's dope
pretty
as
crazy.
hell.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, the brand is buzzing strong on
For
all
sure.
major sports levels.
100%.
You gonna be at front row every game next season when younger bro is taking over the reins?
Unfortunately, I'm gonna come to everyone I could get to though. But
Yeah.
man, oh my God, it's gonna be a movie, bro. Certain stuff like that is like must see TV, and those guys are gonna do their thing, bro.
Excited for it, man. I can't wait
100%.
to see it live in person, and I'm really proud to watch your upward progression, and obviously looking forward to seeing Dylan's, and appreciate you coming on the show today, man. Gio, anything else on your side?
Nah, bro. See you on Sunday, Ron. I appreciate you coming on, bro. We appreciate that a lot for sure.
Yeah, boys already
it's gonna be a big
man.
time game. Every time Rutgers and Purdue get together, it's always fireworks for sure. So looking ahead to that, Zach Edey coming into Piscataway, and see if RU can find a way to pull out some magic and get another big time dub. But this has been a phenomenal episode. Appreciate you guys tuning in to the Are You Listening podcast. We'll see you for the next show after RU finds a way to get a dub against Purdue. Check you guys later.